Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the ASEA Business Overview webinar. My name is Paul Taira. I'm a Triple Diamond executive with ASEA, and for the next 40 minutes, I'm going to be taking you on a tour of this amazing technology and incredible business opportunity. But first, just give you a little bit of background about myself. I started out my professional career in the United States Marine Corps. And after that, after Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, I decided to trade in my M16 service rifle for a computer keyboard, basically, and I became a nerd or a geek. And I went in the information technology space, and I went up that chain of command and ended up ultimately becoming a chief technology officer back in the .com days there, and was able to ride an incredible wave. I was employee number 3. And within 6 months, we had almost 100 employees with a company valuation north of $40 million, and it was quite a ride. And then, of course, the bubble bursted, and my stock, which was worth at one point over $11 a share, ended up kind of looking more like just wallpaper, having more value or not quite as much value as wallpaper, and it was a very enlightening experience for me. I ended up transitioning from that into owning my own consulting practice and learn all of the great fun things of owning your own business. And when somebody introduced me to a network marketing company, I was initially going to just be consulting for their information technology services, but I got fascinated with the product and the business model. And I started to share the product and teach people how to do the same as I learned it. And next thing you know, I had about 15,000 distributors and learned about this concept of residual income, meaning that even if I wasn't working one day, there were still commissions being deposited into my account. And so ever since 2001, this is the industry that I've been in full time. And I can't believe it's already 2013, but it's been a great ride. I've learned a lot, and I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly from companies that had management that maybe didn't have that much integrity or management skills, or didn't have enough money or funding behind them to make the companies work. And that's why I was so excited when I was introduced to ASEA in October of 2009, because I finally found a company with an incredible executive management team, extremely well funded, and a product and technology that was a category creator and had no competition anywhere, and also was protected by over 20 registered patents. So even when competition did start showing up, the patents would be there to protect that and keep it unique. So it was very exciting to me, and I jumped aboard, and again, that was in October of 2009, and today now there are over 30,000 associates in my organization, and has been the most highly successful and most highly lucrative network marketing business group I've ever built. And it's the first one also where I've been able to travel internationally. I've to the Europe territory. I did before go to Jamaica to do some consulting before, but as far as going to Europe, ASEA has afforded me the ability to do that now twice. And as new markets are opening, I'll probably be going back there in a couple more months. So very, very exciting times, and being able to capitalize on the leverage of the tax advantages and being able to write off these trips as well is even an incredible added bonus. So anyways, we're going to cover all that this evening, and I'm going to start off by jumping right into it and kind of summarizing what you're going to learn about, again, a powerful revolutionary health discovery that may be known as what some scientists call the greatest transformational technology of our generation. It's a true once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity that is wound with this, that can generate you an unlimited residual income stream for you and your future generations. There is no one that's saying you're worth $15 an hour, or you can make $30 an hour or $50 an hour. You know, when I left the information technology space, my hourly rate was $150 to $200 an hour, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And but the reality was, if I wasn't working, I was making $0 an hour. So residual means that if you stop working, income continues to come into your bank account. And again, for some of you, that just may mean an extra few $100s a month. Okay, we've got tons of people that deposit an extra few $100s a month with residual income here at ASEA. But some of you may want a few thousand a month. We have people doing that. Some of you want tens of thousands a month, and we have a lot of people doing that as well. Again, whatever your goals are personal to you, but I will definitely caution you that there is more work involved in the bigger numbers, obviously. Okay, so we're not. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme or anything like that. This is a real business. You put the effort into it, and over time, you can create something extremely significant. Okay, now this technology is based on Nobel Prize-winning research. Back in 1998, these three gentlemen here won the Nobel Prize in physiology or medicine for their discoveries concerning nitric oxide as a signaling molecule in the cardiovascular system. And this whole category of science now, known as redox signaling or redox biochemistry, is one of the fastest, most explosive areas of health science today in the world. There are books and journals and papers that are published every single month on this topic. Even universities have dedicated entire campuses on their universities to the study of this amazing science field. Now, our science team and what we call our Science Advisory Council really is amazing because it has representation from so many different modalities. You've got our atomic medical physicist, Dr. Gary Samuelson, to MDs like Dr. Robertson Ward and Dr. Ron Norris. We also have we have a board-certified naturopathic doctor, Dr. David Carpenter. Again, all of these folks here, they contribute to the ongoing improvement, development of the technology, and they study it themselves and are absolutely been blown away over the number of years here that they've been involved on what ASEA is able to do for their patients and to the human body in general. ASEA has also been studied by outside third-party institutions like the David H. Murdoch Research Institute here. This is a laboratory called the Human Performance Laboratory. It's at Appalachian State. This is a $1 billion research facility. David Murdoch actually gave $600 million of his own money to fund this. And again, a total of about $1 billion has went into it. And big companies from Dole Foods and General Mills to the surrounding universities like Duke University and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill also use the facilities here because of their advanced technologies. They did a great research, not only on humans. They did double-blind, crossover control placebo studies on humans and athletes, but they also did studies on animals, and consistently across the board, they saw some amazing shift in markers that they've never seen before, and absolutely excited. And they're publishing studies, and even at the Experimental Biology Conference, which is the largest one in the world, they announced their findings that they did specifically on ASEA. Lots of other studies done on things like VO2 max, which is how you test high-performance athletes, to glutathione and superoxide dismutase, and how ASEA positively affects increases in these super antioxidants of your body. Metabolites, live blood cell microscopy, brain mapping, gas charges visualization, and much more. Now, to summarize, again, not to get into the technical details of how ASEA works or all the the molecular components of ASEA, okay, just to speak about the results. Well, ASEA, like I mentioned, pre-launched in July of 2009. To date, over $100 million of product sales. I think it's closer to $120 million now. $25 million in 2011 alone, and $50 million in 2012 alone. This year, we're projected to exceed $70 million. Approximately 1% product return rate with a product that doesn't taste good initially to most people. Okay, most people will say it tastes like swimming pool water or something. Okay, so it's not a low-cost item. So it's not like, well, it just costs $20, so I don't like it, but I'm not going to make the effort to get my money back. Okay, so there's a significant cost there, and it has a 100% 30-day money-back guarantee. So if ASEA didn't work, we would get a lot of it back, and to only have a 1% product return rate really demonstrates the efficacy and the strength of the product itself. In addition to that, ASEA has an 80% reorder rate. Over 80% of the people who purchase a case of ASEA will purchase at least one more case throughout the year. And a significant amount of them are on what's called a monthly auto ship. So they get actually one case automatically shipped to their door every single month. Now, here's why you need to take ASEA, and not just that you want to take ASEA, right? There's a difference. You really need to take ASEA unless you want to not live as long as you potentially could, and unless you want to increase the risks of getting sick or ill. And if you're an athlete, unless you want to be at a competitive disadvantage, okay, you need to take ASEA. So that pretty much affects everybody, okay? And in summary here, and the reasons why is our cells are being damaged every single day. I've got some examples like sunburn, exercise, injury, and you see air pollution there. Everything from the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the water that we drink, contain man-made chemicals, over 80,000 currently in our life space, and they have a toll. They take a toll on your system. And as we age, especially if we're sick, we do not have enough of these redox signaling molecules to handle this demand. When you're a baby, you come into this world producing these molecules at 100% efficiency, but by the time you're 70 years old, you're only at 10%. And that's why if you see someone elderly, if they get injured, they cut or scrape themselves, it takes months, sometimes, or most of the time, they'll actually have a visible scar there for the rest of their remaining years. If they walk across a large parking lot, they get tired, and the next day they're stiff and sore, right? But a young baby or a small child, heck, if they get injured, they heal within days usually. And if they go out and run and play on the playground all day, you ever see a young child the next morning wake up and say, "Oh, Mom, I'm so stiff and sore. I can't go play again today." No, they shoot out that door. They jump out of bed, they shoot out that door, and they're doing it all over again, right? They don't even stop to eat most of the time. So it's absolutely amazing, the cellular efficiency. And again, it's because their bodies are these redox signaling molecule-producing machines. So what are the results that you can expect when you keep these levels of redox signaling molecules elevated with ASEA? Well, prep yourself, okay? Because the acronym PREP, the first P stands for prevent. And what it's going to do is slow down this aging process to help keep you younger longer. So unless you want to age faster, okay, you need to take ASEA. Also, it's going to help your body to repair itself, to heal itself. If you get injured, or let's say you have a health challenge right now, you're suffering from some sort of health challenge, ASEA, and we cannot claim ASEA is curing, treating, or preventing any specific illness or disease. But what it is doing is it's helping to empower your own body to help heal itself. And that ultimately is the best way to heal, okay? Not just by taking some sort of drug or prescription that's only treating a symptom, okay? If your body is eradicating the condition, that is true healing. Also, the last P in the PREP acronym stands for perform, and that means to dramatically increase athletic performance. So unless you want to be at a competitive disadvantage, because everyone, and there's more and more athletes now taking ASEA, if they're taking ASEA, their cells are working much more efficiently. They're going to run longer, faster, okay, and they're going to have less muscle soreness and be able to do it a lot quicker for the next competition than someone who's not taking ASEA. So again, this pretty much, if you look at the screen here, applies to everybody. And ASEA is currently the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. And it's protected by over 20 registered patents. These are not patent pending, okay? It's not like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. No, it's been verified and registered with over 20 patents to help protect it later when others try to replicate it. As far as experiences go, there are many. Road Bike Action Magazine put the whole bike racing team on ASEA. And they were very skeptical at first and said, you know, none of those juices or any of those nutritional things that work, that's just in your mind. Well, after getting on the ASEA, they wrote an article entitled Super Water, ASEA Salt and Water Supercharger. The editor there, Richard Cunningham, he did some extensive research on the background, and he broke it down into layman's terms. And I'd ask the person who invited you here to maybe get a reprint of this because it really will help you maybe understand the technology and how it works if you're interested. James Lawrence here he was taking ASEA and got such incredible results with not only his performance during the race, but how fast his body recovered after, that he decided to go after the Guinness Book of World Record for number of half Ironmans ran in a single year. He broke that record, and he shattered it, and then he decided to go for the full Ironman record. Now, for those of you who don't know what a full Ironman triathlon is, it starts out with a 2.5-mile swim, usually through ocean current. Now, that would kill most people. They'd drown, okay, if you said you got to swim 2.5 miles in the ocean. But then after they swim the 2.5 miles, they get out and they jump on a bicycle for over 100 miles, okay? And the race still isn't done. They get off that bike and they finish with a full marathon on foot, over 26 miles, a foot race. That's one race, guys. It's over 140 miles. It's absolutely grueling and punishing. Well, someone was able to do 20 of these races in a single year, okay? That's like almost 2 a month. James Lawrence did 30 of them. He beat that old record by 30%. And if you look here, he says ASEA helped him recover quickly so he could compete week in and week out. He's able to go faster for longer periods of time at a lower heart rate. He said it's simply incredible, and it's the foundation of his supplement line, and it makes everything else he does even better. As you'll see on screen, you don't have to be a super athlete to get the benefits from ASEA, like I mentioned on the other slide there. You know, unless you want to age faster, unless you want to increase the chances of you getting sick and ill, or if you are having some sort of health challenge, unless you don't want to give your body, or put your body rather in the most optimal state for healing itself, then you should take ASEA. And again, these are just a few examples of that. And I have to, once again, make the disclaimer that we are not claiming we are ASEA cures, treats, or prevents any specific illness or disease. Okay? Only prescription medications and pharmaceuticals can do that. But what ASEA allows you to do is to be able to help your body to help heal itself. Okay, picture's worth 1,000 words. This lady here, her name is Phyllis, and she had some extreme bruising all over her body, and from a particular type of chemical therapy she went through. I'll leave it at that. Okay, and she had these for months, and they weren't going away. And she was putting on ointments and all kinds of different topical things that she was finding. Well, somebody introduced her to ASEA. She started drinking ASEA, spraying it all over her skin, and lo and behold, within just a number of days, you can see her skin cleared up. It's very, very happy Phyllis from that. This is a friend of mine's basil plant. He went on vacation, he came back, and this is what he was greeted to. So that night that he got back, he sprayed this plant with ASEA. And the very next morning, this is what he woke up to. And I said, come on, Larry, did you switch the plant out or what? He said, no, come on. He goes, are you joking? He said, look at the leaves. You'll see there's some brown on the edge of that. This is the same plant. It just sprouted, it just came back to life. It looks like overnight. So again, ASEA doesn't just work on humans, it works on plants, even pets. Every form of life that has more than one cell, okay, has a redox signaling system in it and can benefit from these amazing little molecules. So unless you're an amoeba or a bacteria, okay, you need to be taking ASEA. If you're a bacteria or amoeba, you probably don't have webinar access as well. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and shift gears here. And in the last section of this presentation, talk about the fact that transformational breakthroughs bring massive opportunity. And how do you know if ASEA is the right opportunity for you? Well, I'm gonna ask you 4 questions here, quite simply. Okay, 4 questions. First one is, do you currently like what you do for a living? Okay, I don't know what the answer is. Only you know the answer, but make a note of that. Okay, and I mean, do you wake up in the morning and go, yeah, I can't wait to get to work today? Okay, think about that. I mean, again, only you know the answer to that. Second question I have is, do you earn enough income for you and your family doing what you do for a living? All right, do you have enough money to go out and buy the things you want, need, enjoy, etc.? Third, do you have as much free time that you want to spend with your loved ones and to do the fun things you enjoy to do? Do you like to play golf? Do you like to surf? Do you like to ski or snowboard? I don't know what you like to do, but are you doing enough of that? Okay. And then finally, you know the date that you're going to be able to retire. And are you happy with that date? I find that as I talk to people, the majority of people who work in a job environment, they don't know the date. They don't even know the year. And I'll tell you, it's kind of sad to me that a lot of people tell me, Paul, I'm going to have to probably do this for the rest of my life, just as long as I can still, stand upright. And they don't, and if they don't, and that's fine if they enjoy what they do, right? Somebody said, as long as you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, okay? But I just find there are a lot of people who don't enjoy what they do, yet they continue to do it, and they don't earn enough income. And so I just, like to have people think about, what their current situation is, because if they continue to do what they're doing, they're going to continue to get what they're getting. All right? And if you don't have a plan, and if you're aiming at nothing, you're likely to hit it. So Albert Einstein said that we can't solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And I will tell you that it amazes me how deep people get. If you look at the current economy, look at how many jobs are losing, all these other things, yet people will still try to find jobs or continue to do the same thing. But if they want different results, they got to start looking maybe in different places. And there are a lot of jobs that are going away, meaning pretty much being eliminated in this country or reduced to almost nothing, okay, that aren't coming back. I mean, we've seen things like the manufacturing industry, right? A big portion of that go to China. But even like more of your even middle class paying jobs, customer service, right? Customer service agents, when you call for customer service, do you hear the person on the other end of the line have an accent, right? Maybe it's a Filipino accent or an Indian accent. Chances are your call is being routed somewhere overseas because they're going to pay someone $1.50 an hour versus paying someone $12 or $13 an hour here. Okay, so when is that job coming back here? Probably never. All right, so very, very key that if you keep trying to fight and struggle and do all these things, there may be a better way. All right, so we ask that you just keep your mind open, because your mind is like a parachute. It only is going to work if it's open. So let me explain to you here the job. And somebody told me a long time ago the letters J-O-B stood for just over broke, right? The boss only was going to pay me enough money so I wouldn't quit, and in return I was going to give him or her just enough work so they didn't fire me, right? Kind of this cat and mouse game. Some of you may relate. I remember going to when I had a job, whatever, 15, 20 years ago, going to the bathroom and then or taking your break, but not going to the bathroom, because then you can go to the bathroom after and kind of get a little more mileage out of that break. I think it's kind of funny now when I look back on it. But again, a lot of people say, yeah, I can relate to that. I did that. But here's the problem with the job model, okay, right? You start out, you're an employee, right? And you work for a number of years, and you hope to maybe get into management, get a raise, but then there's also a lot more work and responsibility and stress, okay? And hopefully after decades of working in that position, you can get to the level of executives, which only a handful of people in the entire company will get to. And one person out of that whole company you're at has the title of CEO. Think about that. One person. What do you think your odds are of being the CEO? What if you got a bunch of guys that are talented, right? What are the odds? And what's the process involved in that? A lot of people are, looking to try to step on number two to get to number one, and it's kind of a cutthroat thing because they feel someone's got to lose for them to win. That, to me, is not a winning model. This is actually what I refer to as a pyramid scheme, okay? Because, again, one person at all that has the potential of becoming the CEO. This is also referred to as a 40-40-40 plan. You basically work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life and retire with 40% of whatever your paycheck was. Well, I'm going to tell you, this isn't happening, right? People aren't even getting 40%, and people are working beyond 40 years. And what we know statistically is at age 65, 95 people out of 100 are either dead, they're deceased, okay, or they're dead broke, meaning they can't afford, okay, to pay their bills unless they continue to work. They can't even afford to make ends meet. All right? So, what about home business? In our model, the home business model, you start out as a CEO. Okay? And guess what? You go out and look for other people who want to be the CEO, who don't want to start at the bottom and kick, scrape, and get to, manipulate their way to the top, right? You want to go out and help other people become the CEO and help them start their own business and help them teach others to start their own business so they can become the CEO as well. Isn't this a better way? For me, it has been, okay? Because at whatever point, and if you help enough people become successful, you become successful. And if you stop working, okay, if you were able to create the success, if you decide you want to stop working, your income still continues to come in, and it continues to grow. It has the potential to grow. Why? Because these other people are helping other people as well. It's a much brighter, much happier. I mean, we have the most incredible, and that's one of the reasons, too, why you want to go to convention. You're going to meet the most positive people you've ever met in your life. You're not going to meet those people back in the office who are sitting around the coffee machine complaining about how bad their day was yesterday, or that whatever bad happened because they hate their boss or they don't like this person and blah, blah, blah. We don't have that. We get in, and our discussions are, how can we make this better? How can we get ASEA out to more people? How can we help more people? Right? And how can we help more people become successful? It's such a better environment, and even if you're just getting started, you're going to realize this is going to feel more like home to you, or this is what you want home to feel more like to you. And instead of a 40-year plan, this is a 3 to 5 year plan. Okay? We want to sit down with you and set a goal. And now notice it doesn't say 3 to 5 week plan. It doesn't say 3 to 5 month plan. Okay? It's 3 to 5 years. Now, some people have been able to amass a significant amount of residual income in a year or two. Okay, but that's not the norm. All right, you can, that can happen, but I don't want to overpromise something to everyone out there. Let's set a realistic expectation, because even if it took you 3 to 5 years, and let's say you generated a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month residual income stream, you're still way ahead of the game, because most people after working 40 years at a company don't have that kind of residual income retirement stream. Okay? So the business model and why ASEA selected it, well, lots of reasons. If you do some research, you're going to find lots of very high-level business and people and economists understand and see this is the wave of the future. Paul Zane Pilsner, he was the economist for Ronald Reagan and the first President George Bush. He says in the next years to come, the most millionaires will come from direct sales, home businesses, and the health and wellness industry. And this is already coming to life and coming to reality. He's predicted a lot of other things, but this one is specifically applicable to our business model. Bill Gates here said if he would be given a chance to start all over again, he would choose network marketing. And, of course, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he said the richest people in the world look for and build networks, and everyone else simply looks for work. And love him or hate him, right? One of the most wealthy and successful businessmen in our country, the Donald here. On David Letterman, David said, what would you do if you lost everything and had to start all over again from scratch? And without hesitation, Donald said, I would find a good network marketing company and get to work. Now, the audience started booing and shouting and laughing, and Donald just looked back and said, well, that's why I'm sitting up here, and you are all sitting out there. So again, taken from someone who's generated over $1 billion, who, if you read his book, got over $100 million in debt, right, and was able to bounce back. Him understanding that if you don't have the resources or the access that he does to money and stuff, for less than $1,000 in the case of ASEA, you could start your business, you can get to work, and you can create a substantial amount of wealth with our business model. Now, our business team and our executive team is led by our co-founders, Vertus Norton and James Pack. Each one of these individuals are just absolutely stellar, and they don't have to be here. They don't need more money, okay? They've both been retired for many years, pulled out of retirement. But they're here truly because they believe that ASEA can truly make a difference in this world by impacting beneficially people's health, from all the reasons I discussed earlier, as well as on their wealth side of things, and to be able to teach people how to create successful businesses. Vertus Norton, a small company to him, does $500 million of annual sales. He was the business strategist for Kraft Foods, about a $36 billion corporation, and he's re-engineered a lot of multi-billion-dollar business organizations. Jim Pack was a lobbyist in Washington. He actually had a telecommunications firm, and his consulting business laid down a lot of the fiber optic infrastructure in the country. And by the ripe old age of 43, he was able to retire. So again, both of these gentlemen extremely successful. Jim Pack was actually the first investor to write a check for ASEA, and has played an active role and continues to in the development of ASEA. Okay, the entire executive team all have stellar credentials, most of them coming from billion-dollar organizations as well. Charles Funke there was the former chairman, president, and CEO of Beneficial Investment Services. Okay, he's our executive vice president. Bruce Call down there, for example, he is the current mayor of Pleasant Grove, Utah, the current mayor of a city with a population of about 60,000 people. And so again, tons of stellar credentials with our entire executive team, and even all the the personnel there at ASEA are just some wonderful people. ASEA now is global. Last year we opened up our first country at the beginning of last year, and now we are up to 16 countries. All these countries you see here on the slide, as well as we just added Denmark as of 2 days ago. So again, if any of you have any Danish connections, very, very exciting for them right now, for their ability now to purchase and become ASEA associates there. And there's lots of great resources, support tools to go to work for you, different websites to help you run your business, expose people to ASEA. But what we're excited about here, and on the associate side of things, is a duplication system called the 3-Minute Peak platform. And it's simple, duplicable, and global. Okay. It's a great way to send someone a little 3-minute video clip that will give them a great overview on ASEA, a little bit on redox signaling. They'll hear from a lot of different people and their experiences with the technology, as well as a little bit of experience and success with the business model. And then after that, they can click and get more information and watch a more detailed video clip to help you go through that exposure process, so you can really quickly identify who's interested and who would be a good candidate to start an ASEA business. There are lots of different websites too that you can select from to present to your prospects. This is a particular nice looking hybrid type website where they can purchase product or investigate what it looks like on the business side of things. There's Athlete. This is an athlete specific website, so you can which would target high performance athletes if you're looking at that market. Also, doctors and wellness professionals. We have a specific landing page that will target them and give them the more sciencey information that they need to feel comfortable to recommend ASEA to their patients. Okay, and much more. Now, this platform also has a training system in it. There are 10 modules, and you'll watch videos and get trained step by step on what you need to do and the activities and actions that you need to take to create success with the ASEA business model. And you can track your progress and know exactly where you're at and know where you're at with regards to promotions that are currently going on and what it's going to take for you to hit that, etc. Okay. So our duplication model consists of a way that you can give people the ability to get their product for free. You'll find that if they can just refer this to 4 people, help 4 people get started with their own business, and if they're on auto ship each month, they're basically getting their product for free. How to teach people if they want to generate an additional income stream, whether it's spare time or part-time income or full-time income or big-time income, okay, which is basically true wealth generation. The choice is left up to every individual. Again, if you want the bigger numbers, you're going to have to put a little more elbow grease into it. So let's start out and with the first level here, with our example associate. His name is Dan. So if Dan goes out, if he finds someone, let's say Tina here, and she says, yes, I want to get my ASEA business started. Look how excited she is, right? She's getting her business started, and she gets on auto ship, and he finds another person, Matt, Debbie, and Teresa. So he finds a total of 4 people. They get their business started, and each month they're on auto ship. ASEA is going to send them their level 1 bonus for $100. Now, this is just the minimum that Dan is getting every month. Okay. Now, Dan could also be getting commissions from fast start bonuses, from team commission overrides, and others. Okay, but the very minimum Dan's going to get is a thank you bonus check of $100 every month. Now, if just 2 of these people did the same thing, so let's say Tina over there. Okay, let's say Tina found her 4 people because she wanted to get her product for free, and let's say Debbie did the same thing and found her 4 people. Okay, so Tina now and Debbie would be getting that $100 check each month. But you would also now be getting your level 2 bonus, which is another $250 check from ASEA each month. Okay, so that's a total of $350 that ASEA is going to send you every single month as long as this structure is maintained. Now, let's take it down one more level to what we call the L3 bonus. So if the 4 people that came in there on your L2, if they just found their 4, okay, any 4 of them, now you've got the L3 bonus, and ASEA will send you an additional $400 every single month. That's a total of $750. And again, combined with the other commissions, this probably is going to equate to $900 to $1,000 every single month. The L2, it's $350, but with the other commissions probably equates to almost $500 a month. So this is a way that someone can very quickly get up and running, generate $500 to $1,000 a month in residual passive income. And I want to really underline the word residual because, again, as long as they're on auto ship, you're getting this money every single month as a minimum. And if people are duplicating the structure, you're going to see the volumes and your other commissions grow as well. There are 5 additional commission mechanisms in the plan. Again, like I mentioned, everything from retail type profits to fast start bonuses and team commissions, and you'll learn about those in the advanced training. But I think if people realize how simple it is just to get $500 or $1,000 a month and just kept duplicating that, the rest of these pieces of the plan will happen and will occur organically, if you will. All these commissions, by the way, are paid weekly with the exception of the AAA bonus because it's a 1 month, because it's calculated over the entire month, it gets paid once a month. Okay, so the timing as I close here, I'm just going to share with you why right now is absolute perfect time to come aboard with ASEA to take advantage of what we call time compression. Okay? The last 30 years has been about vitamins and minerals, antioxidants. Can you believe they put the word antioxidant under a Cherry 7-Up label? Okay. I don't think there's anything antioxidant about Cherry 7-Up, but it's become that kind of buzzword. Exotic fruit juices like these berry juices that grow in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, or these other fruits, etc. Okay, there's tons of them out there. They've been replicated. You can't patent a berry or a piece of fruit. So there's lots of different sources for that. That market is saturated. Now the next wave, though, in health and wellness, over the next 30 years, redox signaling molecules. Okay. The question for you is, do you want to be at the end of the last wave, or do you want to be at the beginning of the next wave? Hopefully, we've got some entrepreneurs on the line here on this webinar and that understand the potential of, if you're one of the first, okay, you have the greatest potential for success. Now, ASEA, again, addresses $2 trillion markets. The health and wellness space, which is anti-aging, the health conscious, health challenge, and prevention, as well as sports and athletics to increase the performance, endurance, recovery, and repair. These are the subjects that we covered about earlier when we talked about the ASEA product. Okay, so here's the timing part of the equation. Okay, when ASEA was first being put together, and this, by the way, all big companies go through this sort of evolution here. When ASEA was first being put together, and they were documenting the product and doing all the research and determining what type of marketing distribution channel they were going to go with, that was called the foundation part of the business phase. Now the next phase is what's called concentration. So that started when they took their first associate application and they started to actually sell the product. We are currently in the concentration phase. The next stage is called momentum, and that's when the company goes from small to big in a short period of time. The next phase is called stability, when the company kind of levels out and is stable. Now the company can grow again when they introduce new products, new markets, etc. Okay, and we see other companies being able to reinvent themselves and stay current, and we're confident too that that is in ASEA's future as well. And on a side note, come to convention, okay, and that's all I can mention. Be at convention and be one of the first to get some exciting new information that may possibly be in that space as well, to create some even additional crazy excitement. Okay, right here as you're looking on screen is a point called critical mass, and that is just before the company enters the momentum phase of growth. Now, you ideally want to be within 10 months before that or 10 months into momentum. Okay, and that will allow you, again, to earn the most amount in the shortest period of time. People that got involved early on, right when the doors were open, okay, a lot of us had to take a lot of arrows, right? And we had to go over a lot of speed bumps because no one knew what redox signaling was, never heard of it, were scared to take it. But again, as the marketplace and as the technology and education gets more out to the masses, it gets easier and easier. Right now we can talk about just the results like I did earlier of the product and not have to go into, you know, a lot of mitochondria and molecular discussion. Okay, we know what the efficacy is of ASEA. All right, so where is ASEA right now? Well, they're approximately right about there, just before critical mass, which, if you saw the 10-month window, it's highly probable that we are approaching or even within this 10-month window, again, making it the ideal time to generate the largest amount of income in the shortest period of time by getting positioned right before that vertical growth phase. Okay, and here's what it looks like in a chart form. As you can see here, back in July of 2009, when ASEA first pre-launched, when they were profitable there, March 10, the official launch of ASEA, the second convention, the European launch, and last year's Orlando convention of September, you can see this nice, great growth curve. And ASEA has been profitable every single month, end over end, since April of 2010. Positive cash flows are being reinvested back into the business to pursue and support growth. And ASEA is debt-free. As a matter of fact, within the first year of business, they were completely solvent, meaning completely debt-free. And I'll tell you, that is quite a statement if you think about it. To start a business in one of the worst economies in the history of our country, right? Most businesses are looking to go out of business, and people are losing their jobs in droves. And yet, this company, it just is a strength to the testament to the product as well as the executive leadership and management that it not only survived, but has continued to show consistent growth for the past now 4 years. And so again, the timing right now for it to go shoot through the roof couldn't be greater. If you look at the forecast here, you'll see, there you go, through 11 and 12, what our projections here in 13 are. But look at what down the road there in 14, 15, and 16. Again, the potential for momentum is coming upon us. Now, in closing, Michael Jordan said he could accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but that he could not accept not trying. For you hockey fans out there, the great one, Wayne Gretzky, said, "You miss 100% of the shots that you never take." So at this point, you have a decision to make, right? You could either, one, choose to do nothing, okay? Your life, your health will continue to be the same. So if you're totally happy with that, right, and you don't want to live younger longer, you don't want to reduce the chance of getting sick or ill, and you don't want to increase your athletic performance and be at a competitive advantage rather than disadvantage of your competitors who take ASEA, then do nothing, okay? Secondly, you can just become a customer and benefit from ASEA for yourself, okay? So you just be a customer, you purchase ASEA, and you get all of its benefits. Or third, you can become an associate and not only benefit for ASEA for yourself, but help others with this amazing technology and help others and give them the ability and the potential to also generate a residual income stream and be positioned to be one of the first to bring this technology to the world, and with the potential of also generating true wealth. Okay, so these are the three things, and in closing, maybe to help you sort of make a decision, I'm going to use Steve Jobs here and John Sculley. Now, you're probably familiar with Steve Jobs, one of the co-founders of Apple Computers. Well, when Apple was about 4 years old, Steve, at the ripe old age of 28 years old, felt he was not getting taken seriously by other big companies and investors, so he felt he needed to hire a sort of corporate or Fortune 100 type or Fortune 500 type executive. So he invited John Sculley over to make him an offer, and John was at the time the president of Pepsi-Cola. Okay, so big company, had a cushy executive job, and as he's being interviewed here, or rather chatting with Steve, he's thinking, why would I want to leave my cushy job with all my cushy benefits and perks to come and work for a startup company that was started up in a garage just 4 years prior, okay, and risk all that. And here's what Steve Jobs said to him. He said, John, do you want to sell sugared water for the rest of your life? Or do you want to come with me and change the world? That's pretty profound. And John actually at that point, he gulped. And he said he didn't want to wonder for the rest of his life what would have been. And I know he thanks that decision every day for coming over there and helping bring the Macintosh computer to the world, etc. And so the only question you need to really ask yourself is, in a few years down the road, when redox signaling becomes a household name, just like antioxidants are today, and when ASEA becomes a household name synonymous with redox signaling, known as the first, even if it's not the only, the first, probably best of breed in the category, the most advanced technology that everyone will be using. Okay. Are you going to wonder what you would have missed if you didn't participate? Would you be like, man, I can't believe that I watched this webinar and everything. I was there and I didn't take action. And subsequently, maybe you had a friend, someone else who was on this webinar, who did take action and they created some massive success. Will you be able to sleep at night? I mean, if you would say, fine, oh yeah, that's fine, that'd be great for that person. Okay, then, you know what, this might not be for you. Okay, but if you're like me, and who would be losing sleep, I'd be throwing chairs across the room, right? Going, man, I was there, I saw it, I can't believe it. I should have did more research. I should have did whatever it took to feel comfortable to know that, yes, I could be one of the first and bring this to a $2 trillion potential addressable market space industry and be one of the first and, man, capitalize on this. If you're like that, I really want to encourage you and invite you to take action and come with us and help us change the world and literally help us do it one cell at a time and one person at a time. Like our co-founder Jim Pack says, he said it's really not a matter of making another $1 million, although that will come in the process, but it's a matter of helping to change 1 million lives. And that's what we, again, invite you and at this point encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to be on this webinar and ask them how you can get started with ASEA today. I want to thank everyone for your time and attention this evening, and I encourage you to have a fantastic rest of the evening and rest of the week. And I will just bid you farewell right now, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Good night.